Hi everyone, on my quest to find perfect foundation, I came across Chanel Pro Lumiere and I have this a while and I didn't do a review on it yet. I've actually had it for probably 3 months at this stage, and I haven't shared on my blog or on YouTube what I think about it. I've no foundation on at the moment. I'm going to do a little demo of how I apply it and then talk a little about what I think of it, maybe as I'm going along, maybe afterwards. So I just usually put one pump on the bottom here. The shade I have is number 30, which is Shell, and I have two shades. I have Shell and I also have number 40, which is kind of what I would be more in kind of summer and autumn rather than winter and spring. So this is a lighter shade for me now. So I start by dabbing a little bit on. Okay, it does have a scent, quite a strong scent, but it isn't offensive in any way. When you put it on, you can feel it on your skin, like it's not one of those products that feels like light as air or anything, which I find a little off-putting. I just blend it in. This is just Makeup Forever foundation brush, which is 25N. I always start on the kind of biggest planes of the face just because it's the easiest to work with, and then I kind of go into all the nooks and crannies that are necessary. And I only use one pump on my whole face. It is quite easy to work in. You can apply it with your fingers, but I find that when I apply it with my fingers that I get kind of a thicker coverage. After I've applied it with that, I then go over with my stippling brush and I just blend it a little bit more. There we go. Now, I can just see from the lighting in here, and these are kind of like studio lights, see a patch of light here, and I don't know if that'll be visible to you. That's really telling you a lot about this foundation. It is a dewy, glowy look sort of foundation. It feels quite thick, but once it's buffed in, it doesn't feel too bad. It feels like I've just applied moisturizer. It's not slipping, so it's this kind of like a slight little waxy consistency to it, or maybe that's silicone or something. Scent is kind of stronger than I would be used to with the foundation. It definitely is expensive, but you've seen the before and after, so you can kind of judge for yourself. The major downside for this for me is that you can now see my pores, and I don't have actually very noticeable pores, but with this product I do, because it's like if I put any sort of highlight powder or anything on this part of my face, you would see my pores. Now they're not usually noticeable unless you highlight them, and this foundation does highlight my pores. Now, oddly enough, it does conceal any blemishes I have quite well, which is good, and it took out any redness that was in my skin, but the redness was only very minor anyway. There was no kind of crazy redness. It did kind of cover underneath my eyes quite well, and it's very easy to blend, and it brushes in nicely. And my skin feels really soft. The big thing about this, it's very youthful looking. It looks fresh and natural, and maybe it doesn't look so much like makeup, which is great. But for me, the fact that it highlights my pores is a massive downside. I might try this again in the summer. I think it might suit my skin more in the summer. When I tested the sample size that Juicy Tuesday sent me before, it was in the summer, and I was much happier with it then than I am now. So I'm thinking now that I've gone fairer and that the lighting is more harsh in spring than it is in summer. So like in daylight, the daylight is quite bleaching and it's very unflattering. So I find that that's kind of, a big downside. I would recommend this for anyone maybe with older skin who wanted to look more youthful, who wanted a dewy look, which I know is in this season. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who has oily skin or anyone who has noticeable pores. But I am happy with it and I will use it. I just don't love it. And for the price, you know, it is expensive, so I did expect to love it. But maybe in the summertime I'll come back and tell you I love it, which is very likely the case. I've bought a few other foundations that I need to do kind of little demos with. I have 2 drugstore ones that I will do a comparison of as well really soon. So thank you for watching.